Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Jade. Today we're diving into one of my favorite design tips, which is starting with art. Using art as the inspiration for decorating a space can be super helpful when you don't know where to start and can really help create a mood. Art is such a powerful tool. It can set the style, define a color palette, spark creativity, and give direction and so much more. In this video, I'll show you how we can pull a few colors out of your artwork to decorate in a cohesive way. Whether you're working with bold colors, calming tones, or classic neutrals, let's get inspired.
So one of my first steps that I would recommend is when you get the art home is pop it into where you think it might live and take a picture and really sort of take a step back, look at it and see what sort of emotion or color really pops out at you, something that you might not have realized in the store. You just saw something, you're like, oh, I really like that, purchased it, and then you've brought it home and you're like, oh, I actually really like this color or this color. And from there, you can then go to a paint store and collect some paint chips like this, or even find some sort of tissue paper, napkins, things from around the house that might have a similar color palette and things that you aren't too sure could match. Now for me, I obviously have lots of these around, so it was quite easy for me to pull this together. But take the picture to the paint store and just collect a whole heap of swatches and chips, go home and then lay them all over, literally just lay them. Because you can really start to see how colors will pull and what you actually really like. So I have a great love for pink and green. So for me, this art is beautiful. I can style it either way. And you can also style this one really, really neutral because there is such a beautiful gradient of the gray and neutral colors with like the sand and the light peach kind of colors. Anyway, so for me, finding a few colors that you really, really like, the deep burgundy and the reds can really get pulled quite nicely. Obviously, you've got a great deal of the pink. And then there is some beautiful tones of greens, and I love green. So for me, I would probably just pull out a few of the greens and sort of lay it over and figure out what sort of tones I really like. So I really like these two here. So I think they sort of hit off really well, and also like a dark emerald, which I didn't pull out. Now I would only recommend picking 2 or 3 color chips in total to start you off. You don't want to get too overwhelmed. And I mean, if it's something like on the white scale, you're definitely going to be in the neutral tones, and there's plenty of those kind of color chips as well that help you along the way, which I will make another video about, like a neutral room and how to create that perfect, elegant, elevated and sophisticated space. But today I just want to talk about art that has color, and you wanting to add decor and create the space that you think the art deserves. So for me, I would also recommend that you write a list, depending on what room the art's going into, of all the pieces that you might think about purchasing in these kinds of tones. So if it's a bedroom, you would be, bedding, bedhead, lighting, and decor. A living space would definitely be rugs, vases. So after you have a couple of paint chips picked and you have a photo of your art on your phone, you can easily go through into something like Canva and create a mood board. And that's going to definitely help figure out the colors that you like. You can download the paint chips once you know the name from the particular website that you have picked them from, and place them on the board. Then you can go through and figure out what kind of mood you actually are creating here. And it is so exciting when you start to see colors actually matching, and you can find decor pieces online or in store that really can bring the room together. So the mood board is great for you to visualize and think about the scale and size of certain colors. So if you really like the pink but you don't want it too too big in the room and it's a bedroom, then you're not going to go with a pink quilt cover or duvet. You would definitely pick the pinks to be in the smaller decor pieces, and potentially something more on the neutrals, if that's your color palette, would be on the bigger items. The scale and size of things would really play off on something this colorful, but it's also really exciting to have this many colors to sort of choose from to create your color palette. So another tip is definitely taking your couple of paint chips that you've picked and your phone with your Canva, sort of a couple of mood boards or a few ideas, and going into a fabric store. I love fabric stores. So these are great for inspiration, bringing colors together, thinking about beautiful textures, soft fabrics. That's really going to elevate your space. And having this many colors in an art piece is basically an endless list of options in a fabric store. But definitely find something that you really love, perhaps get a sample and bring that home, bring it into the space, and it will really change the way you start to bring this room together. Next step really is just purchasing slow and steady, having your list, getting colors that you really love, not steering away too much from the color palette, and really sort of always coming back to your art in the space. You'll be surprised that things will really start to come together and feel cohesive, and your room will feel elevated and sophisticated as you purchase each piece. I want you to love everything you buy, so we're not purchasing for any old reason. I absolutely love this vase, and it's quite large, so I can put all sorts of greenery and flowers in this, or I can just leave it on its own because it's so beautiful. So I want you to really look at versatile pieces, something that really speaks to you in the art after you've found your color palette. So I hope I've helped in a small way today. If you are a little bit stuck on what to do in your space, starting with art and a small color palette is always a great place to start, no matter what color palette you're looking for. I've just went a bit crazy today with the pinks and the greens. Please, if you have any questions, reach out. I'm happy to always talk about art and color and decorating. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, as I am very new and I'm super excited about teaching you and inspiring you to decorate to your home to get to a place that you just love your space.